This isn't going to be your standard meta-analysis of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, where we point out that Santa is kind of a dick and he bullies and abandons the main characters only to flatter and exploit them when he needs them. Instead, I just wanted to talk about some of my subjective opinions of the characters and what's going on in the special. First of all, Rudolph. Ever since I was a little kid, I thought there was something adenoidal and just weird about Rudolph, like kind of wimpy. Like he's always like, even when he doesn't have that little nose cap on, he's like, I'm Rudolph. And then when he's at that reindeer training, he goes, and Clarice likes him, he's like, she said I'm cute, ha-ha! Like he actually goes, ha-ha! And then he goes, I'm cute! And then he falls down. Then they have that horrendous song by Clarice, There's Always Tomorrow, which is like, get the fuck out, go get a snack, wake me when it's over. I'm very glad when that song is over. And then in that scene where they have the reindeer training, they start doing this thing called the Hollywood double take. And it's basically Comet comes over, and after the nose falls off, and by the way, it's not just a red nose, but it's a nose that kind of makes this whistling siren, like what is part of the nose too. I guess they didn't want to put that in the title, the whistling red-nosed reindeer. But Fireball, the other little reindeer, sees the red nose and his eyes go cross-eyed. And then Comet comes up and Comet says, now what's going on? Oh, yeah! Like that. Really kind of rude, I thought. And this kind of Hollywood double take happens again with that character who's the leader of the elves, who happens to Hermie. Hermie's talking to him, and Hermie says, well, sir, I'd like to be a dentist. And that elf guy goes, you'd like to be a dentist? What? And then just in the scene after that, he gets all humble. He's like, everybody ready for elf practice? And then he goes, here's a song that I wrote. And remember, it's for Santa, and the one, and the two. And it's like, did Lawrence Welk suddenly arrive at the North Pole? What's going on there? Then, about 3/4 through the movie, it takes a very psychedelic turn with that Moonracer character. Like everything had been traditionally Christmas, and then suddenly you have a flying lion in a castle, which is like, did they drop acid at that point, the writers? And then that Moonracer guy is like, he's not very helpful, right? He can fly around the earth every day looking for misfit toys, but he can't help Rudolph and Hermie at all get back to the North Pole, so thanks for nothing. And then he does, though, provide the coziest little cabin for them, which was nice. But then in the scene after that, it's like the most bleak scene ever. They're on the island of misfit toys on like a Norwegian steppe or something, which is a lonely little campfire, and it's the misfit toys that are just bemoaning the fact that they're not going to be, loved by children that year. And could somebody explain to me this dolly character, like a dolly forsooth? Like, what's wrong with the dolly? She seemed totally normal. There's like the Antichrist dolly forsooth. Like, what's wrong? I get it. It was like a cowboy who rides an ostrich in a boat that won't stay afloat. But what's with the dolly? The dolly seems fine to me. And the character that I like a lot is the Charlie in the box, who does that line, nobody likes a Charlie in the box, who's reminds me of this stock Hollywood actor whose name was Franklin Pangborn from like the 20s and 30s and stuff, who always played this kind of frenetic like clerk or whatever. There's a scene in a W.C. Fields movie where there's all these like cubby holes. He's a hotel clerk, and then there's an earthquake and all the keys start falling off, and he's just like freaking out. It's great. So those are my impressions of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.